Hey, sweet girl. Hey, sweetie, sweetie. You gonna give me some space? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Indeed. And greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. Oh, voice crack, gang. Water bottle dropped. Things are still in alignment, so I'm feeling good. How are you feeling? Jackson, it's so nice to have you here again, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Shannon, beloved friend. Hello, friends. Friends, I hope everyone is doing well. I'm doing well. I'm feeling tired and unaligned and like a little bit groggy, and yet that is also perfectly divine. And that is literally what I want to talk about today. Is exactly that. This feeling, this understanding, this experience of being unaligned can feel like there's something wrong with it, when instead recognize that feeling is that which is in alignment. I cannot words. Damn it, damn it, align me, please, please. I need to be aligned. Okay, maybe try that again without butchering it. I'm going to focus focus all of my might into this single sentence, instead of getting caught up in the feeling of feeling unaligned. Realize that feeling is that which is in alignment. By realizing that no matter what it is we're feeling, no matter what it is we're going through, no matter how we might tell ourselves a story about our current emotional state, our current physical state, our current mental state, that instead of that being something that is wrong, feeling, being able to have the sensitivity for an experience, that is which is in alignment. That is which is divine. Literally having this ability to feel. We're so sensitive. We're so sensitive, and we have these ebbs and flows where we're feeling, absolutely amazingly, and then sometimes we don't feel that way, and then we get caught in this narrative that we're supposed to be feeling one way or another, causing us this boomerang effect where we're constantly in this infinity loop, but we're looking forward to being on the other side of it when we already are. Both sides of it. Let's read something worth saying. All events are neutral. Very first thing. Very first thing. All events are neutral. Creation is forever new. Being able to feel that creation is forever new. What creates experience is how you decide to view the events that come up in your life. I mean, I feel like these things we're saying, want to be said. Like I'll open the book and then I'll find a thing worth saying. How in alignment is that with what we're talking about today? I want to read it again. Let's see if I can find it again quickly. At least I checked what lesson it was. Lesson 9. All events are neutral. Feeling, being sensitive in this moment and having an experience is perfectly neutral, because creation is forever new. There's always going to be this constant experience being elicited ceaselessly. These slices, if you will. And then the last one, what creates experience is how you decide to view the events that come up in your life. You're going to feel all of it, every single bit of it. And that's good. That's a good thing. We're supposed to feel all of it. If we weren't feeling all of it, then we would walk away having not felt. Having not felt. Like this lesson came like a shock to me. This water looks discolored. Tastes like Ermia's blur, I guess. Okay. Sorry for I mean eliciting a response, right? What the hell? Okay. In alignment. Thank you, friends, for joining me on this message today. So I wanted to say, Ermia's blur friends, I wanted to say that this message came to me almost like it was hiding until that very moment, because I was thinking about what to talk about today, and I wasn't necessarily stressing about it, but I felt a little bit tired today. I felt a little bit Not under the weather. Is it good under the weather? Maybe just like I don't have access to all of my faculties. Like I have all of this brain power that's available, and I'm just like accessing a small smidget of this brain power. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, again, because I was feeling that. I was going through the day feeling that. And I was convincing myself that feeling that way was wrong. I'm not supposed to feel like I'm missing faculties, like there's a part of me that I'm not accessing. And I was looking forward to the yoga session, and I was almost like telling myself, I was going back and forth with this feeling of not being as fast as I want to be. Like, okay, I'm gonna drink 2 coffees before I do my yoga. And then I'm like, really? Really? Don't you want to feel what it is you're feeling right now? So I kind of made a decision not to drink the coffees. And partly because I was running out of time as well. So I'm not going to give it all to my intuition, but I mean, maybe my intuition messed with my time, so I don't have time to drink coffee, whatever. Get into the yoga session with this almost expectation again, like wanting to feel something specifically. And I go through this yoga session and I feel amazing doing it. Like I kind of started implementing something in the warrior pose instead of just going all the way down to like comb. We have a word in Afrikaans called streel, which basically means like to rub my finger points, across the mat as I'm going all the way down, breathing all the way out, putting my nails on the mat, and then rubbing it against the mat as well as I come back up, and then kind of focusing on gently touching my fingertips at the bottom and at the top of these movements. And I feel like there is these capacity, there's these faculties, if you will, coming back online, and me being able to feel more and more into my alignment. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is good. It's working. And we finish the yoga session, and there is like a death pose where you basically have your arms and your legs spread out, and you surrender to gravity, you surrender to the calm, you surrender any tension you might be holding over your body. And as I do this, I feel like this arm almost like it's leaning a little bit right and upwards, instead of just being completely flat. And I release the tension instead of trying to keep it straight. And I feel again out of alignment. And as I say that to myself, Ryan is like, just let gravity do the work, even if it might feel out of alignment. And it's like, I get this download that this is what we're supposed to talk about today. That I'm not supposed to worry about the feelings of unalignment. I'm supposed to be focusing on feeling. Feeling is what we're here to do. We're these sensitive, like just think about the amount of information we're receiving right now. And it was crazy because last night, Vesel, my little brother, I mean, he's turning 19 soon. So he's not that little anymore, but my little brother, he's the littlest of the brothers I have. He basically came to me and he's like, uh, how do I say this? What is your how does your fungal bodies look like? Let me say it that way. Your little monkeys look like. And I take him and I show him my jar of monkeys, and he's like, "Oh, okay. It seems like you have a little bit left." And I'm like, "Yeah, I might go out and see if there's more monkeys to find." My oh, you know what? I think you get this little image I'm trying to shape without it being my face. Fine. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that amount looks like a good amount of monkeys." And I'm like, "What do you do? What do you want?" Basically. And I realized that he's hinting at the fact that he would like some, and it's almost like I'm not I'm not present with him in that moment, and we get separated. We go our own way, whatever. And I realized that he's not only him, but his consciousness is kind of like reaching out to me about this experience. And I realized that, well, where I am right now, it's not something that bothers me. It's not something that I necessarily want anytime soon again. So now I'm supposed to be giving it away. And I'm like, okay, well, thank you, universe. And I take the jar and because he call him over, we go to his little fine scale and I measure out 2.22 grams, of these monkeys for him. And he's like, well, he's been every single time he did it, he kind of did it like around nighttime, spend most of his time inside, and he wants to do it during the day today. And I'm like, okay, it sounds like a good idea. I teach him about lemon tech and how it helps for the nausea and the discomfort you might be feeling. And he's like, oh, okay, that's good news. I didn't know that's a thing, and that it helps with that. So he does that. And I wake up this morning a little bit later. I've been training myself, if you will, to sleep only around 3 a.m. so that I can actually be completely present with my yoga teacher training that's coming up soon. And I wake up and I go over to his room, and as soon as I see him, yeah, he has this glow to him, and I'm like, "Hey, how you feeling?" And he looks at me and he's like, "I'm feeling, I'm feeling." He says to me, and I'm like, "Basically, how long are you in?" And he shows me a timer, and he's like in an hour and a half at that point. And I take him to my room. I have this beautiful painting in my room, and I got these LEDs around it that are like pulsating in different colors, and all of the light colors on my painting kind of like fades in and out of your immediate attention, if you will. And he's laying in the bed with me, and I'm playing him some Cytrons because I want him to experience music, in that state of mind. And he understands. Literally, that was one of the things he was like afterwards. He looks at me and he's like, when you bought that painting, I was like, why would you spend any money? Like, and it was partly because it was a friend who painted it as well. But he's like, why would you spend any money, to get this thing? And why would you spend money on getting like a proper speaker when you have a pair of earphones? And he like basically explains his narrative and his mindset to the way that he saw me before. And then in this state of mind, he's like, I understand, Mel. I understand why you are like the like you are. And I'm like, oh. Yeah. And it's been so beautiful. It's been so beautiful watching him grow and his consciousness literally seeking this out. Very much seeking this out. Like it wasn't something that I pushed on him. I so to be honest with you, I did actually try to push something on him today. He doesn't smoke at all. And knowing, how well those two go hand in hand, monkeys and marijuana, I was like, don't you want to try smoking for the first time? If you smoke in this type of mindset, it will only open you up a little bit more, make the a little bit more gentle for you, if anything. And he's like, no. And no again and no again. And then I realized, hey, oh, what you're doing now is exactly what you're not supposed to be doing. And then I completely dropped it because he's very much in alignment. He's very much in the alignment with what he's supposed to be experiencing, how he's supposed to be experiencing it. And I can see parts of myself, parts of where I started with this journey I'm on right now, awakening within him. And I saw parts of the angry parts of myself in him as well, in his younger teenage years. And seeing him feel more and more into this. Yesterday, he came into my room, while we were talking about the monkeys. He came into my room and he touched my box of cards. And as soon as he touched it, I was like, oh, this dude wants to pull a card. And I opened the box and he didn't even realize there's cards in that box. I opened the box, I tell him to pull a card. And at first, I'm trying to tell him, like, don't pull one at the top because I saw one of the ones I pulled recently. And he's like, oh, no, I wasn't going to. He puts his finger in the stack. He pulls the gratitude card. The card that I've been pulling, I think, the most of all of them is just gratitude. Be grateful. Because as soon as you activate, as soon as you feel into this gratitude energy, everything in life becomes more beautiful and everything in life becomes more expansive, more more feeling, if you were. It gives things feeling. And it was this beautiful experience of taking him this morning, showing him my marijuana plants, and like showing him this one cola that has these beautiful pink pistils. And he gets close to it and he's like, hmm, looks at my other plant, smells it. Hmm. And I could just see, I see these little connections being made in his brain. And even though he doesn't say, like in that moment, he doesn't say a word to me, I can see him growing an understanding of me, of what it is I'm trying to talk about, because he was very apprehensive to what it is I'm doing and how I'm trying to do it at the start of this journey. Like last year around this time, he was fighting with me a lot like kind of tuning me. Oh, you're just, you live in this lovey-dovey fantasy world, and that's not how the real world works. And you're going to, mess yourself up by believing these things. And now, like seeing in his eyes, seeing like actual light in his eyes, like how he's like, oh, oh, the little twinkle, twinkle in his eyes. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, come here, come over here. Man, I love him so much. I love him so much, and it's so amazing for me to be able to feel, not only I want to say feel for him, but that's not the right word. To know what he's feeling, having felt that way, having gone through those experiences, having grown from those experiences, and knowing what that felt like for me, imagining what it must feel like for him, and how amazing that makes me feel, and it's amazing. It genuinely is amazing just what human connection can do, what experience can do, what communication can do amongst one another. Even just in our eyes, just looking in someone's eyes, they can communicate something to you. It's wonderful. Thank you, friends. Thank you for being here with me. Love the intention today. Sometimes we hold a visualization for symmetry that doesn't serve us, and it's okay if parts of us or our personalities are not consistent within ourselves. Ooh, imposter syndrome is the first thing that comes to my mind in that as well, Ryan. Of like, oh yeah, you're not perfectly symmetrical, so it must mean that you're not either side of yourself. Because look, this side of yourself doesn't match this side, so it must mean that you're nothing. You're nobody. It's like, shut the fuck up. Please, imposter syndrome monkey. You have no place here. Thank you. Get lost. Oh, brother Bear, Ryan, it's so nice to have you here. Always. I can't stick around today, but wanted to say hello and good morning slash evening. Love you, E. Love all of you. Love you, Katie. Thank you for joining us for even a second. Aunt B, thank you for the heartwarming. So much love to you. South Africans and Australians are similar. That is my experience. You must have met like thousands, thousands and thousands of South Africans and thousands of Australians, since you're making such a educated decision. I'm sure your experience is, absolutely infallible. Live interaction. I'm sorry for tuning you a little bit, Fred. Like, we are all human beings. Human beings are similar, yes, 100%. But like, it's a little bit of a stretch to say that South Africans and Australians are similar. I think we have a lot of traits. Like there's a bunch of traits, similarity traits between Texas and South Africa as well. When it comes to the way we spend our time, at least as a general society, the way we are expected to perform when it comes to sports and school, the understandings we have around relationship. So if I meet a certain set of people in South Africa and I meet a certain set of people in Texas, I can say the same thing. Yeah, South Africans and Texans are the same, are similar. And in that way, we all have these underlying personality traits that come through all of us. Feeling into that, seeing the beauty in that is, I think, more important than just finding similarity in that. It's uncanny how they are both from the southern hemisphere. Absolutely. I wonder if there's something in that. So being about the southern, I mean, Texas is the southern hemisphere of United States, right? How did you get your new yoga mat? I did, Jackson, and I'm very happy with it. Like it's really serving me. Especially with some of the movements that you have to be on your knees. Like that's a lot of pressure, and it's not a lot. Like there's nothing technically. There's that much skin between you and heart. So yeah, it helps. It helps so much, and it's been an absolute blessing actually having a yoga mat. I'm looking forward to the yogas that's going to be coming up soon because I'm going to be have to doing a lot more than I ever have, and I've been preparing myself mentally and physically for that. And I'm curious. I'm curious how that's going to affect me as well. I guess we'll find out together. Fire breathing Jenny, beloved friend. It's so nice having you here again. How are you doing? How are you doing? How's life been treating you? Lisa's here as well. Good morning, Estian. Thank you for joining us in this space, my friend, as always, and for providing, such a beautiful energy as well. Talking about toast for Los. Thank you for the love, brother Bear. So much love to you. How did you like the mat? Amazing. It's genuinely amazing. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy, on B. Like it's just I started this yoga session with Ryan with this perspective of, oh, I want to be, strong. I want to get as strong as possible. So, bare kneed on the yoga like moves, kind of going through the whole range of movement. And the first few days, like I think the first 2 or 3 days, I had to like pull a blanket closer when I had to be on my knees. And then after those 3 days, I was like, okay, I feel like I've conditioned myself enough. And I was doing it without for like I think a week and a half, maybe about a week and a half, completely without. And then now, upon getting the yoga mat, maybe 2 weeks without getting the yoga mat, it's like I've gone through all of these strength training exercises, and now that I'm strong enough, I get to have the thing that I don't have to be strong enough to use. So now, having been strong enough, having this thing is just like double comfort. So I'm like, oh goodness, thank you, universe. Thank you, universe. Thank you, manifestation, for giving me this mat. What the fuck is this boring shit? Rat pads? You tell me, friend. Like I'm trying to figure out whatever this stuff is. And it can be boring, You could call it boring, looking at a tree, just standing there, doing its own thing, photosynthesizing, dropping water vapor into the air and stuff. You could call that boring, but yet, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it absolutely beautiful? Oh, goodness. Just look at that tree. Huh? And look at that one. How about, how about that tree as well? So many beautiful things, friend. It might be boring, but I feel, if anything, the mission for us is to try and find beauty in whatever it is we're experiencing. So try and find it with me, rat pads. Skeet skeet bang bang. Just smoke weed. Like I do actually smoke weed by occasion, friend. It's been so long since I've been able to join a melt stream. Hello, fam. Scarlet O'Scare. It's been months, like months and months, almost like a year, I feel it is. Thank you for joining us again, my friend. Thank you for the silver, Tom. It's nice of you. South African, you're right, flower girl. You got it. Your clashing shirt are making me unaligned. I'm sorry, friend. I guess that's what we're supposed to be doing today. Is we're not trying to force ourselves in alignment. We're trying to feel. And feeling is what's most important in this experience. We're supposed to be feeling. If you're feeling like you're doing something wrong, if you're feeling like you're not experiencing as much as you're supposed to, if you feel like there is something lacking in your experience, realize that throughout all of that, you were feeling. You were feeling. And that feeling, that being able to elicit a response from this experience ceaselessly, that is the part of you that's divine. That is the part of you that is in alignment. You can technically, in that mindset, never be unaligned, because for as long as you feel, you will be aligned. And you felt that my clashing colors, is pulling you out of alignment, and that caused a feeling in you, a feeling so visceral that you had to say something. And we appreciate you for that, friend. Are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs? Are you feeling it? Oh, this guy is such a stereotype, Lamar. Oh, JP, thank you, friend. I'm just being your mirror, So whatever stereotype you understand, is already within you. And then because I'm in the outside world to you, you can convince yourself that you're separate from me. But the thing you see is in you. It's in you, JP. Oh, I'm glad you're unaligned. Close your eyes and listen. You gotta support your friend's art, though. I do actually, friend. I do. Like I feel like that is one of the biggest things that I look forward to being able to do as I gain more and more abundance in my life. Being abundant is great and all, but I don't need that much. I need food, I need a place to live, I need internet access. And if I have those things, I'm pretty fulfilled. I spend a lot of time meditating, and I spend a lot of time, learning things, and I spend a lot of time trying to access more and more parts of myself. But nothing in the outside world, buying more cars, buying more houses, having extravagant, dinners, those things although they might be beautiful and they might, be experiences to feel into in and of themselves, they're not the thing that elicits the feeling. You are. You are, friend. So, like, being able to elicit feelings within other beings by supporting their artwork, showing them in a tangible way that not only do I appreciate what you're doing, but I want to support you in that, is something that I look forward to being able to do more and more of. Hello, Alexandre. Nice to have you here. Looking great and handsome as always. Mm. Thank you, Alexandre. I appreciate your love, brother Bear. How are you doing? How's friends? I like that. I'll take that advice as well. Close your eyes and listen. If you feel unaligned looking at me, just close your eyes and listen. There we go. Advice given. Oh, loving friends. This sounds like a lovely experience with your brother. It was beautiful. And I got like a contact high just being in the vicinity of him. I really love him to bits. He is quite something. And I can see him evolving. I can watch it. I'm watching him evolve. Literally watching my brother evolve into a more complete, more loving, more understanding, more patient being. And it brings so much joy to my heart. I always knew it was possible, having been through that journey myself, having seen my other younger brother go through that journey like himself as well. It's amazing. It's amazing just watching other people grow. Just just ran 15 kilometers. Great for the body and mind. You know, I'll take your advice. I'll take your word on that one. 15 kilometers. Like, and I know I have friends that do that as well, Alexandre. And I take my hat off for you. Like, I can do, like maybe 60 pull-ups in a day, and I can do, 100 plus push-ups, and I feel strong for that. And then someone tells me they can jog 15 miles, and I'm like, I deflate. That's crazy. Thank you for sharing that with me. Just like imagining it is a trip in its own. Mm. Sarvinia, Maori to you, friend. Thank you for joining us. Mel, it's so awesome that you had that connection with your brother. I love him to bits. I love him to bits. He is going to do amazing things. I know it. I ran 21 last week, semi marathon. So, do you do this on a daily basis, Alexandre? How long does it take you? Like 2 hours? How? A 1 minute mile is a thing. No, no, no. A 4 minute mile is a thing, right? So 10 miles. You would be able to do it in an hour, technically. Technically, right? Am I being a little bit too too optimistic here? Like, what do you run 15 kilometers in? Life is good. Jenny, I'm happy to hear that. Working on getting in shape for summer. I can identify with watching evolution of humans. My kids are blooming more every day. I hope that I bloom with them. Keep supporting your brother. Jenny, you have no choice. Like, I know that sounds like a little bit of a yikes, but you do not have a choice. If people are evolving around you and they're sharing that evolution, they're sharing that joy for evolving, that they're sharing their perspective as their perspective changes, your perspective changes with them. Your evolution catches up with them. And I think that's why it's so important for us to find ourselves in the vicinity of people that want their highest good, that want the highest good for the rest of the world. Because if we all as a collective want that, then we're going to get it. We get what we want as humanity over and over and over again. And we wanted extreme comfort. We wanted entertainment in our hands. And we got it. Now we want interconnectivity. And we're going to the point where we're literally going to have chips in our brains to be able to communicate things with one another telepathically. How long? How long do you think humanity has been fantasizing about telepathic communication? You're wondering how long? For as long, actually, for as long as the being, the bipedal being, I would say, has been. So we were bipedal beings before we learned how to communicate, and we learned to communicate to get what's inside of our noggins outside into the world and inside your noggins. And that was like a level of telepathy in and of its own. We're just doing it with words, and the data transmission it can be a little bit wonky. We've wanted to have telepathic communication with one another for as long as we've existed. And now we're doing it. We're doing it with technology. So, realizing that we have this power as a collective, the things that we want as humanity, we're going to get. don't you think it's of utmost importance to shape that want into something that's going to benefit us all, something that's going to make this world a better place? And you are. We are doing that, friend, just so you know. No, two a week, one and a half hour. Okay. I think telepathy exists. It does. I've, I think it does. I've had experiences that would suggest that weird thing happened to me in this regard. I me too, Alexandre. More times than I'd like to admit. More times than I would want to say because it will convince other people that I'm absolutely insane. But for Madman, okay. So nice to have you. Oh, do tell. You know what, Jenny? Maybe I will. So, friends, like I want you to take what I'm saying with like, the sea's worth of salt. Don't listen to a word I'm saying. Assume I'm talking about a dream right now. In this dream, I find myself in a psychedelic festival, and I'm there with a friend. I'm there with this, at that point, girl that is extremely into the story. But I'm in a very beautiful space. I'm with beautiful people. I'm with this wonderful friend that I've made, and I decided that this was the moment that I was going to dive the deepest ever with psilocybin, the monkeys, if you will. And I basically make this tea with 6 grams of it, and I drink this tea, and I'm dancing, and I'm definitely I'm definitely there. Let me just say it that way. Wherever that was, I'm there, and I'm dancing, and I'm having, a good time. And this lady is like walking through the dance floor, looking at people dancing, seeing them go through whatever it is they're going through, and giving them these. We call them toffees, and they're like this big taffy, slabs almost that got like cut and then wrapped. And I take this toffee slab out and I put it in my mouth, and it like takes up your entire palate. So like you wouldn't be able to talk if you have it in your mouth. You have to take it out. And I have this taffy in my mouth, and I'm dancing, and I see my homie, like call me over, and I'm like, oh, okay, he wants probably to have a conversation. And he pulls me like a little bit off of the dance floor so that the music isn't too loud. And we start having a conversation. And we're talking about this lady that was walking through the dance floor and giving people things. And, like the energy and how it feels like, we're absolutely in this loving space. And we were having this conversation about hearing as well, and I was mentioning to him that I felt like I could hear the music like I've never been able to hear it before. It's almost like my ears opened. It was this, when you have like water in your ear and you finally get that water out and it has that and feeling. I had that, and I was explaining this to him, and he's like, "Oh, okay, okay, that's cool." And I was like, "Dude, I feel like I'm, having a beautiful experience right now." And I breathe, and I take the candy out of my mouth, and I look at the piece of candy, and I look at my friend, and I look at the piece of candy, and I put the piece of candy back in my mouth, and I write it door, and I take it out of my mouth. And we both realized that this whole conversation we had telepathically with one another. We like our mouths. I don't even know. I don't even remember our mouths moving, but I remember the conversation and like us kind of like tripping out about sound and hearing and feeling like we can hear, like we can hear, and then we freaking literally hear each other's thoughts. It was bonkers. After that, like we were tripping out so hard about that, happening, that we had to remove ourselves from the rest of the people. We sat next to this river, and we were just like talking about we were talking about evolution, and we were talking about like human beings having all of these DNA traits, having all of these capacities, having all of these capabilities in our experience of having been humans, throughout time, and how all of that experience that we gained having been humans is now within us in this very moment, and how like kind of like accessing these different entheogens, psychedelics, we kind of like try and access more of that information. And we're having this conversation and we're looking each other in the eyes, and it was just human beings communication, having conversations with another being is the most beautiful thing you can ever do. It really is. It really, really is. And now we're doing it in a way where we're literally separated by thousands of kilometers. Me, thousands and thousands of kilometers, and yet how many are we right now? 394, 95, 97 individuals in this very space. You know, and even if that story is absolute nonsense, it was a story, and that story made you feel something. And that is what's valuable. I don't expect you to believe the story. Absolutely not. How could you? But feeling what that story might mean to you, feeling what it might mean for what you're capable of, feeling for what it might mean for what we're going to be capable of as we continue evolving into the future. That is the thing that's of of utmost importance. Feeling, friends. It's so beautiful. It's a power we have. We just don't always know how to use it. It's the same for manifestation. Alexandre, were you here yesterday, friend? That is what the whole stream was about yesterday. Manifestation. Yoga mats are delicious. Remember this? Subway says as an ingredient dubbed the yoga mat chemical will be entirely phased out of its bread by next week. The disclosure comes as Subway has suffered from an onslaught of bad publicity. Eight weight, yeah. Apparently, it was like some sort of chemical that made it a little bit more elastic, or gave the bun some chew. Or goodness, dude, it's wild. That's I love you, brother. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being willing to receive, Jenny. Always, I missed it. It's online, friend. It's online. It was, I think, one of the best streams we ever had because we were talking about manifestation and trying to manifest the highest good every single time you have an opportunity to complain instead. And we had like the stream dropped over and over and over again, didn't want to go live. So we had ample opportunity to complain and we just didn't. We just did not complain. And it was so beautiful as a message, as a feeling of what we're supposed to be doing when we're feeling frustrated that I couldn't have even made it up. That lesson was just too perfect. I loved it so much. Have a good day. Love to you, 1P. Thank you for joining us. I think it's best he didn't smoke. Remember how strong it is for a first timer. It can be psychedelic experience in and of itself. You did the right thing, buddy. Thank you so much, Toast. He did the right thing as well. And like as soon as I realized that he is in alignment and he is doing what he's supposed to be doing, I completely dropped it as well, brother Bear. It makes me happy to know that he is sensitive to his own nature and to his own understanding. It's snowing here. So wonderful to see the sun and balmy weather. It is good weather today, actually. Like I'm pretty comfortable. I didn't have to wet my scarf. It's getting colder and colder. The winter is coming. My plants are budding. I'm happy. I'm so happy, friends. I hope that you can, pick up of some of that happiness, take some of it with you, share some of it with someone else. I'm glad your brother can have your wisdom and guidance in these moments, Estian. What a full circle. It makes me so happy because it's not something that I had, Lisa. Something that I would have loved, but I understand, the role I have to play as well now. I love your energy, bro. Thank you for sharing your journey. The more we spread the message, the better this planet will be. So much love to you, friend. Thank you for spreading the same message. To emphasize, it's what you're after. To emphasize is what you're after. Hmm. What you decree is the thing that comes to mind when I read those words. Thank you, friend. Empathy and understanding is such a special gift. Did you have it as a wild gem? Morning. What time is it? Lower, where am I? Toast. Toast is toasted the mostest. It's like, where am I? What country is this? Where, what planet am I on right now? Have you ever, hey, Ninja Peach, have you ever had an experience by doing it with others? I had an experience by doing it with others. Like, I mean, maybe the experience I just shared, actually, Ninja Peach, I'm supposed to be the old one. Do you have any tips on how to practice gratitude that worked really well for you? So one of them that you can kind of implement is just to have like a little list of 10 that you write down somewhere in your day, either in the morning or at your night, just to write down 10 things that you're grateful for in your day, even if it's arbitrary. Like, I'm grateful for the pen and paper I'm writing this on right now. Like, just actively trying to strengthen that gratitude muscle strengthens it. And another way that I've tried to do it as well, again, I like to think in context of infinity and fractals. So there is the potential for something to fractal into one side of the infinity or into another side of the infinity. And it can do both. So by knowing that it can do both, you can choose for it to do both. So every single time you think a negative thought, have something that's tense in yourself, and you realize that it causes you discomfort, use that as an opportunity to be grateful for something. Like, oh, in that moment, I'm grateful to be so sensitive and so feeling. I'm grateful to, have this sense of justice and this sense of morality, and that's why I'm feeling so negatively about this. I'm grateful, etc., etc. Practice that muscle, friend. I think there is something special about being in a room with like-minded people, going through yoga poses together. Connection happens if you are open. It does, Jenny. It does. And we're basically trained, I feel, in a lot of ways to not be as open as we might have been at one point in our existence. Remember, gratitude should not be about comparison. Example, thank you for this. I'm lucky to have it because others don't. It should only be about appreciation. I agree completely. And technically, it's serotonin related as well. So when you have a lot of serotonin, you're more likely to be grateful for things. But it also has the caveat of the more grateful you are for things, the more serotonin you have. It's you're so powerful, friend. You are ridiculously powerful. You just have to use that power. Have you done a stream on selfish and selfless, as in defined linear, as a defined line, linear spectrum, or custom set of traits, thoughts, and exhibitions? I don't think I have. Maybe we've touched on it a little bit in stream, as like a point, but that's a very good topic. Thank you so much, Jenny. Selfless versus selfish. Practice booting the imposter this morning. Thank you so much, Aunt B. Thank you, Luce Reporter, for joining us as well. I did a lot with a group of friends in a park. It was summer. We found a frozen skating ring in the park in summer. It was very much ice. We all felt it and saw it. We skated on the ice and danced on it, just slid around and had a blast on the ice in summer. We came to, and we were covered in mud head to toe. We were filthy. The ice was found was actually mud. We all saw and felt ice though. Oh my goodness. That is ridiculous. I love it. I love it so much, and I believe every single word of it as well. Oh goodness. What do you call it? Um a hallucination? I feel like all of you wanted to see ice. And because in that space you wanted to see ice, that was your dream. It became your reality. It might not have been the rest of the world's reality, but it became yours. That is so freaking cool. Jon Snow, yeah, Jon Snow, friend. I took off from the wall thing, cold and like they don't wash our clothes. We have like one pair of clothes. You know how young it is? And it's like my sweat keeps freezing layers onto my clothing, dude. It was not a vibe, so I had to move to a hot climate, become a hippie, start smoking weed and stuff. Good morning, worldly assumption. So loving to have you here. You are so right. Oh, cabbage, you're just seeing what's inside of you, friend. These truths are within you already. I'm glad you got out. Thank you, friend. Getting a cold, not COVID. So tomorrow I can go on my little long-awaited honeymoon. Ooh, I'm so happy to hear that. Worldly assumption, you deserve that, beloved friend. Toast le most. My knees and wrists have to have a mat. Yeah, like my wrists, I feel are a little bit more sensitive than my knees are, and I want to be able to do like handstand push-ups and stuff. So I'm gonna have to get these dudes a little bit stronger before I can attempt stuff like that. Thank you for the helpful pro worldly assumption for the energy you're sending me, Jam. Life is boring. We give it the zest, emotion. Yes, devils. Yeah, literally, friend. Devil's Halo. I like your username. Mushrooms. My brother, had some mushrooms today. By the way, look, it's hippie Heath Ledger, the one and only cerebral dormancy, the one and only friend. It was so awesome to see everyone in the hangout last night. It's so nice to have that, even as a thought, melt more wisdom. Melt more wisdom. That wisdom melts from a place within inside of you out into you, and the things that have stuck onto you melt away as this starts. Peppy, what's wrong? Peppy does this weird thing where it's almost like she gets a headache and she tries to escape it. Peppy, what's wrong? What's wrong? Let me show you if I can see if I can show you what's happening. It breaks my heart. What's wrong, Peppy? What's wrong, my lovey love? What's happening? I wish I could help her. Like, you see? Like I checked her ears, like Uncle Becky told me to see if there's any mites in there. But it looks like it's something happening inside of her head. Man, I hope she gets better. I don't know what to do. How many times do you think I've heard that? Take a guess. Okay, like maybe like hundreds. It's hundreds of times by now. Ears. Her ears are fine. She like usually pulls her ears back, and then it looks like there's something happening in her head. Yeah, if you didn't stream, oh, weird one. Could have left it at Heath Ledger. Dude was pretty cool and hippie. Yeah, actually, that's true as well. What a compliment. It is. It absolutely is. Haven't been on here in a while. Glad to see you're still streaming, sending positive energy. Ultra Star Man. It's nice to see you again, friend. Thank you for sending some love to us. Would love to have their hair. Man, there are some jealous people hanging out in the comments. Meltmore is my favorite streamer. Worldly assumption. I don't feel it's jealousy. I feel it's just it's this part of ourselves that feels like we're being called out. And it's seeing something in the outside world being expressed, and then you can be like, oh, what's being expressed has value, has truth, and you can resonate with that truth. You can see that love is true in that experience. Or if you don't want to accept that love is true, you have the opposite experience, you have the opposite response to that. And that's, like, whatever the response is, love is still true. It's just whether or not you want to be separated from that truth that you live into. And the way you respond, the things you do in the world, is basically an indication of the truth that's inside of your heart. Any side of the box I said yet? No, Jam. No, like I'm really bummed out about that because I'm waiting for three packages right now, and one of them was sent long before. I think even before your package was sent. Your package was sent, and then another package was sent, and none of them have arrived yet. I'm waiting. Toast to YMC. Or Toasty MCJ. Let me say it that way instead. It's like the wind breaking pose took physical form in the body of this dude here. Man, the wind breaking pose took form as this dude right here. I don't think I've ever received such a beautiful compliment. I stumbled upon you once before I really enjoyed it, letting the emotions come over me and understand myself instead of covering it with something else like drugs or alcohol. Kyle, I'm so happy that you're willing to feel, my friend. That's what it was about, is feeling. And I'm happy that you're saying drugs and alcohol, as a caveat to it. I feel alcohol specifically because it definitely is something that can numb you to some of the things you might be feeling. But drugs in and of themselves is something that, is encompassing of so many things. Like if you drink a bunch of coffee and you're feeling shitty, it might make you feel shitty faster. If you eat a bunch of mushrooms and you're feeling shitty, you're not going to be numb. I can guarantee you. You're just gonna be like, oh, now I feel shitty, 50 times a second, where I used to feel only one time a second. And it can help. Like if you want to think about having this bad emotional state and being like, oh, I'm gonna take one slice off of this block of 100, and I can feel all of this shitty over the next week, whatever, like bear with me. And then you eat mushrooms. You're just taking slices quicker. And you're to be eating those slices of sadness as well. You cannot escape that. But drugs in and of themselves, won't just take these things away. You are a feeling being. You're gonna feel things regardless. Realize that feeling things is what's good. You having these feelings is what is divine. Good vibes to you, Rebecca. So much love. Scarcity is an illusion. Abundance is literally the language of this universe. Just look around you right now. Look at how much stuff there is. And then realize what you just looked at is literally an infinitely small fraction of the whole. And there's too much for you to absorb in a second, in a lifetime, in 50 lifetimes. Even if you have 50 lifetimes, you won't absorb a percentage of all that is. Abundance is the nature of this universe. Handsome fellas of contagious smile. Devils. Hey, Heather, so nice to have you here, friend. So much love to you. Proud of you and thankful that you shared that. Thankful that you're encouraging our friends to, Auntie. Well, aren't you an absolute gem? Astro, I'm just a mirror, friend. You're just seeing the gem that is you in me. Love to you, friend. Good morning, ma'am. Imagine the guy tries his first time doing some monkeys. Good way to scare him off of both things. No, it wasn't his first time, fortunately, Peach. Although some people handle it well. Like, I know he would handle it well, nonetheless, because I handle it pretty well. Rido also is willing to smoke by occasion, and he handles it pretty well. And knowing that he has my genetics, at least in some way, I'm pretty sure he'll handle it well as well. But I'll let him choose. I understand that now as well. I'll let him feel into his own consciousness, into his own alignment with what he wants to do. I can run to the cupboard for a snack. Yes, you can, devils. Feel free to, friend. I ran to my couch. When I hear my dog is about to throw up, I'm the fastest sprinter in the world. No lies. That is the truth. I love this dude's positivity and voice. I really needed this morning. My friend, and this is why we're here. This is why I do it every day as an opportunity for serendipity. Like, I literally do this every single day with this in mind, where someone out there in the world might need what it is we're trying to give. And by giving it every single day is an opportunity for someone to receive that, for all of us to receive that. And the fact that you were the one that feels so significantly about that today, we love you so much. Devil's Halo. Is he practicing his Viva? I'm not exactly sure what that means, Lil B. Maybe I'm practicing my Viva. I kind of like the sound of that. It's not really telepathic communication. If we have to have chip our heads to communicate, there would be wireless communication, much less Bluetooth or mobile data. I mean, Sarvinia, like, why would you say that? Like, who says it is that way? Like, technically, oh, you know what? Let's put on theory hat. Like, technically, you could basically teach human brains with technology how to communicate telepathically, remove the technology afterwards, and have that ability remain. Any technology, if it's advanced enough, is indistinguishable from magic. So, like, technology in and of itself is us using our minds, using our telepathic ability to influence our external reality to create a scenario in which we can communicate with one another without having to open our mouths. And if that is what our understanding was of telepathy in the first place, being able to communicate with you without having to say something to you physically, then it will be telepathy, even though we might be using technology to do so. Meltism one wonky. Oh, Lisa, that says be the nature sometimes. No doubt. I could be fast asleep within a split second. I'm down the stairs and I'm at the door. Same for me, but in my cat. Player, playmate. Hey, Isaac, brother Bear. So nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Pull ups versus push ups are different things, though. Oh, absolutely, they are. Not sure if I know the proper words, but it's like stamina versus endurance. I think that's about, it's probably like stamina and endurance would be the same thing. It would be, like strength versus endurance. like strength versus endurance slash stamina. Correct me if I'm right. Correct me with the right word if anyone has it. I don't know if you said 16 or 60 pull-ups, but pretty sure average male pull-ups is 8 pull-ups. Yeah, like 60 pull-ups. It's it's fun. It's something that has like really served me as well. And now I'm in this position, this point where I've lost so much weight, and I've kept most of the strength that I had exercising with the weight I had. So now I can move myself a lot easier, and it just makes me feel a little bit better. I feel like I can move through space, but a part of me is like I'm not made to be running. Like I'm a like a do you call it a sentient? No, sentinel. Someone that stands still with staff. you know, I can defend, but I cannot chase. Holy crap! It's the dancing maniac. Thank you, Brad. Thank you for joining me. I had to go into the dancing maniac mindset for a second. It's so great to see y'all. I hope to make the next one. I look forward to hearing from you as well. Thank you so much, Aunt B. Like hearing how you experience the time with one another. Dragonborn RKO, Brother Bay. It's nice to have seen you here in the last little bit. World's happiest hippie. Ugh. Meet Mr. Mayhem. I'm not sure about that, friend, but if anything, I hope to encourage you to be happy as well, to see the beauty, to see the infinity. My husband's friend says a candy womas all the time. I'm always like, what the fuck is a candy womas? He says crooked. What? I don't even know what a candy womas is. But that's hilarious. 13 to 14 is generally very fit and strong. Yeah, that's about right. Some level of consciousness sharing exists absolutely. It's my belief that consciousness is a pool we all swim in until we don't. The waves we make in our pool influences the ripples for others, for sure. I agree with that as well. And instead of, like I like the swimming analogy. Like I think we're like these pebbles, that like we're these entities as awareness throwing pebbles into the water. And right now you are that pebble. And as you're moving through this space, you are stirring the water. And it's quite literally something that you cannot stop doing. You lifting your head off your pillow, putting waves into this world. You cannot, literally cannot stop creating, friend. I'm happy I've got a nice break until 11 at the salon today to tune in. Hope everyone's Saturday is incredible. So amazing. Thank you so much for joining us, Isaac. Never assume you make an ass out of you and me. My grandfather used to say that. I like to say that as well. Eight wait. I say that more than I'd like to admit. I'm a grandpa. Damn it. I love this happiness. And I love you, Devil's Halo. I love you, friend, genuinely. And you're like, how can you love me? You don't know me. All I am is the I that we are, friend. And I genuinely believe that. So, what that means to me is that underlying everything that we think we are, our ego being the story that we've told ourselves about the experiences that we were aware of, and our ego starts to like form an understanding of what story it likes telling. And then by telling that story, you live into it with your persona, the person that you are in the outside world, the person that you're showing to the rest of the world. But underlying all of that, the crux of where that all came from is being aware of it, feeling it. And we all are that feeling nature, that awareness, that consciousness. And when I say I love myself, that is the I that I'm loving. Literally, an I peering into this universe. And because I know that it's not different for me and you, I can say without a shadow of doubt in my heart that I love you. I love you. I actually love you, friend. You're supposed to be here. Easier. Dude, mommy's pretty boy. It's been a while, Fred. It's a boy! It's a boy! Aunt B, no, not Aunt B. Candace, thank you for joining us. We found that it could possibly be our forever home. We had purchased a 18 by 30-foot military tent to camp in as we build our home. Oh, that sounds amazing. The property has a spring, and the woman who owns it is selling at a way cheaper price than what the other people are asking, by like 3 to 4,000 cheaper per acre. manifestation. So, just to like share a little bit of amazingness with you friends, Candace has been on this journey with us from relatively early, like from last year, I think maybe in the half of the year. And ever since Candace came into the space with us, she's been sharing with us her dream, her understanding of what she wants, and been manifesting this ideal reality where they buy a piece of property, build their own home, create a space in which, love would be true. And we're literally watching it happen. We're watching her manifest this reality for ourselves. They had 4 girls. They had 4 girls, and her husband wanted a boy, and they had a pregnancy, had a baby again, and on Tuesday they found out it's a boy. The fifth child is going to be a boy, and it's just watching this divine being manifest the world, the reality that she wants to be living in, knowing that it's possible for every single one of us. You're such an inspiration, Candace. We love you, my friend. Has a spring. It has a spring. It has a spring. Just that. Just having running water on your farm or your piece of property. That's amazing. Building my own with my own hands has always been my ultimate dream. Good luck, Viking Queen. You can do it, my friend. You can do it. We all can. Essentially, necessity, substance, having show off. Mm. Essential necessity, substance, having show off. I don't know what that means. Dude is John Lennon reincarnated. I don't know John Lennon enough to actually comment on that, but thank you, friend. Mothership homes are so cool. That is our goal. But it will look like a castle. Ooh, mothership homes. I know what an earthship is. Maybe a mothership is something similar to that. Like, do let me know, Candace. Oh, damn. I told you how I almost broke my leg on shrooms and had to make myself. You did. You did tell me that. Like it cracks me up still. I'm so sorry you had to go through that worldly assumption. Well, is that answers my mushroom question. I'm not the one. I'm not on mushrooms right now, Devil's Halo. I feel like the mushroom experience is something that's accessible to us always, not only once we take it. And that is what I've been trying to do more and more, is to try and figure out how to activate those neuronal pathways without actually having to take the mushrooms themselves. He farts flowers and rainbows. Like, actually, I don't fart flowers and rainbows. When I fart, it makes like this angel halo singing sound, like, oh. No, my ass cheeks clap against each other as well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just a human being, friend. I'm just you. I just happen to be me. Oh, get used to it. I literally say this all the time. Me too, Fred. When you assume you make an ass out of you and me. Enjoy devils. He's here every morning. I am. I drink air, drink water. Like, friend, I feel like your messages are so brutalized that it's giving me brain damage trying to read them. I love you so much. I'm sorry. I just might skip that. Easier. The more you feel towards that dream, the more the universe pushes you into it. Absolutely. We can manifest our realities, friends. I know it's true. I know it's hard to believe, but I've seen it happen. Mushrooms are wild. You're the wild one, worldly assumptions. Mushrooms just allows you to be more of yourself. Sounds like a lush shop. Oh, it's quite fascinating when you think about it. Shroom tea tastes disgusting, but it does what it's supposed to do. I used to eat peanut butter with it. Oh goodness, peanut butter and mushroom sandwich. Like, I've never done that, fortunately. It's always been lemon tech or like very fine and trying to swallow it with water. The start of ours was our landlord not reviewing our agreement, could panic or see the signs. So we saw the sign that the tide is coming in and not to panic. Whew, manifesting instead of complaining. I have so much homework, man. I literally have homework that I don't know about. I just remember some teachers telling us about it. Anyways, I'm so unmotivated to do anything. It's been 3 weeks since I've done any work. Ezio, why is that, friend? Like, we're talking about feeling into or out of alignment today. But the fact that you're feeling these things, the fact that you know that you haven't done any work in 3 weeks or 3 weeks, right? How is that making you feel? That is where you're supposed to be, addressing your own mindset right now. Don't worry about what it is you're doing, about what it is you're feeling, but feel. Why are you feeling like this? Ask yourself that question, feel into what your answers might be, and in that way you will continue to grow. Right now, the cost of three-bedroom place is 800 to $1,500 a month, and that is if we're approved. Having 5 kids pushes people away from us because they think we are like previous renters. Assumptions again on the not freaking oh wow, like some reason, like the mama energy coming from Candace and Aunt V is so strong that they have the same spot in my brain, and every single time I try and take from that fractal, it either comes back with Aunt V or Candace. I have to consider it. I literally typed this out and then saw you commented synchronicity, my friend. So when I do that, by the way, like I'm doing this cross as the intersection of an infinity symbol. So, and you're like, oh, where does the infinity symbol loop around? At the edge of the universe. And you're like, but Melt, the edge of the universe doesn't exist. Yeah, exactly. Here's the cross. The infinity goes all the way, all the way. We homeschooled our kids. School is overrated, to be honest. School fills their heads of the kids with worries and problems they don't need. They need to be kids, and they get to be. And I genuinely believe they're going to be such beautiful beings because of this opportunity that you gave them to be themselves. The school system has been outdated for like 60 years. Literally. But at the same time, a child figures out what they want to do. Their head is so stuffed full of nonsense that it distracts them from the dream that they have. I've seen it happen to me. I'm very, very, very blessed to have tried to dig myself out of that mindset as well. I get mushroom chocolate bars, and they're so good. They don't taste like shrooms, and they get fucked. Hands-on experience when they are ready is how I see it. I completely agree with you on that, actually, Candace. Done more LSD than all of the 60s. Goodness. That is, yo, dude, that's a tall order. I think I've been through like maybe 20 or so LSD experiences, if you really want to know. I love you too, Astro. Thank you so much for sharing this space with us, my friend. Gotta be careful having those deep convos on shrooms because it can freak people out. It can, but I feel freaking people out in that way can cause like it can either cause them to realize things or it can cause them enough discomfort to realize that they don't know things, and I think both of those scenarios are like net good. It's a great mindset. So many people's projections of their own dreams, and it can be toxic. Even parents do that to their own kids. So you're completely right, Alexandre. This dude definitely gets chicks. I thank you, friend. I'm happy like you have all of these assumptions about me. Has done more acid than all of the 60s, is reincarnated John Lennon, gets chicks. I haven't, and I want to again. I want to try acid again. Well, try acid. I want to do acid again, but I haven't in like a year and a half now almost. Haven't had access to it since. And I've been single for 4 years now, friend. Cheers to you. Don't assume things. Don't assume things. Like partly because I don't need any of those. I don't need to be in a relationship and I don't need assets. So I'm not seeking it. If it comes, it will come. And that's kind of the place I'm in my life right now. Needing less, melting more. Yeah. Mm. Hermes blur. Anyways, gotta go. Procrastinate some more, I guess. See you. My friend, I see you too. I see you too, Zia. Are you willing to see yourself? Is the question, friend. Candace, I cannot read all of your comments right now. I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm 30 minutes behind on the Reddit and I feel so bad. Sad to see kids on meds. Yeah, they tried to put me on like Adderall or Concerta as well, and I was on Concerta for a while. It was wrecking me. It's okay. No, like Candace. I don't want our friends to be waiting. LSD has a negative impact on my mind, but I took it in a mindset of rough heartbreak I had last year and it increased my hopelessness and depression. It's just you. All of that stuff, like whatever you put into your body, you're going to be experiencing yourself. It's just going to give you more to experience, more information, more layers of perception. If you don't have the right mindset, if you don't have the right intention for why it is you're doing things, then you're going to potentially get whatever it is you don't realize that you might need. And sometimes we need some depression and hopelessness. We do. I went through a state of depression and hopelessness, and it served me absolutely. Where I can now know, I can reference that part of myself that was so extremely depressed and hopeless, that I can be like, yeah, that's like not who I want to be anymore. Mushrooms help me though. LSD, no. Like LSD to me is lighter than mushrooms are. It's like something that's a little bit more forgiving, if you will, than mushrooms. Where mushrooms are like, it's like, well, hey, look at this, and how about this thing that you've been suppressing, and how about this, and I'm like, oh, ooh, I'm just gonna melt for a little bit. And then I come back, having experienced all of these things, having faced them with inside of myself, and realizing that I'm the one holding on to them, and I'm the one creating negative experiences, continuing into the rest of my life, and then releasing them, letting them melt away, quite literally. LSD is your body showing you the energy that you need to release. It shows you what you need to see, accept, embrace, and let go. Beautifully said, Candace. Jigs, fulfilling. Dude, I can't read your comments. I'm sorry. It was so nice seeing you and Bubs. Yeah, it really was. My goodness, he made my night. I actually saw him this morning as well at the yoga. Send him to Russia right now. He'll stop the war with and have Putin wearing his scarf. Dude, like, don't even say stuff like that. Because weirdly enough, I would love to try. Like a part of myself is like so naive and so hopeful that I would like to try and sit down with Putin and have a conversation with him. But that is very hopeful, dude. I would be able to change Putin himself. I'm not that naive. You're awesome, Mel. Oh, die often. Thank you, friend. You possess so much wisdom and compassion. Truly an amazing being. Keep spreading the love. Thank you, friend. Again, like, I don't know if it's getting old, but I genuinely consider myself just the other side of your infinity, friend, as you are the other side of my infinity as well. And you reflecting this back to me shows me what's inside of myself, and how, in the same way that it shows me what's inside of myself, I'm showing you what's inside of you. This is this is an infinity symbol between me and you, between our eyes, between what's inside of us. Like the tough love guy, the group, bro, you need to let the oceans out. I'm here for you. Look at the pretty stars. That's kind of me. That's kind of who I am sometimes, actually, and I feel bad for it. Of course, the one stream I miss is the one of the best ever. That's what happened, Jackson. It was one of the best ever, just because of the amount of information I was receiving from the universe, talking about something, putting an understanding out, and then the universe being like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, are you sure you believe these things? How about if I do this? Do you still believe it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And how about if I do this? Do you still believe? And I'm like, "Yeah, I actually do." And it was beautiful in that way. Oh, we are connected with each other in so many more ways than we realize. I wake from any sleep and sprint. Oh, I like that actually. Michelle, thank you for joining us. Only real men wear my grandmother's scarf. I actually have a scarf that would be like grandma's scarfish. It has like these beautiful, like embroidered flowers on it, some like weird patterns, like grandma patterns, and I think that's maybe my favorite scarf even. He's a nice looking guy, but I respect but he is respected for and focusing his energy on the beauty he has inside. Oh, so much love to you, Heather. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Grandma must be awesome. Oh, yes, she must. That is great that you and your brother are both evolving. It's great that you are as well, Alien Odinio. Odino? I appreciate you doing the same. Nice to meet you all. So much love to you, friend. Thank you for joining us. This is such a nice morning with you guys. I can't wait to take this energy and lean into the conversations and love I shared today with my clients. Man, you're so right as well on that, Isaac. The opportunity you have to talk to people, share with people, and then they go out into the world and share more. Love is true. Love is true. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Little Doger's playing a little bit. Sometimes you try to manifest something or something so hard it never comes. Then you're over it and give up, and then the very thing manifests. The universe is so funny, isn't it? Yeah, Alexandre. That's why people say that the truest yogis are the ones that laugh. Because if you're not laughing, you don't get it. Isn't that funny? I love that so much. Take care of you as well. Nice to see you here. Non-verbally rolling eyes and shaking my head all the while. I hear you, Toast. I hear you, friend. Like, you can continue doing that. Just like know that you're supposed to be feeling. And even if you're non-verbally rolling your eyes and shaking your head, you're still feeling things. And that is what I was trying to do today. It's when you make the order and release it fully. Exactly. Like it's believing that it will be, and believing that it will be to the point where you don't have to invest any more mental energy into it because you know. It's like, oh, okay, it's done. It's like, pressing the button on the microwave to make it start turning. You're not standing there and like, okay, now microwave, okay, like please now microwave, like microwave now. You've pressed the button. The button is pressed, the microwave is microwaving. You cannot now keep manifesting your food to get warmer by standing there. You've pressed the button. I love you, Fred. Sure, she might let you borrow it if you ask. Oh, absolutely. It's incredible the superpower we have to shorten negative experiences by feeling it through and letting it go. So many times we are in this cycle of reliving the things that fracture us, that frustrate us. We we at that point are creating the negativity. Yeah, it's true. Like when you're thinking hatefully of someone, like you're hating them, and that hate is being generated in you. Like they're not feeling the hatred that you're beaming at them. They're just, living their lives, going through their experience. So why are you investing energy into them in that way? I always say I laugh if, and then I'll state that I manifest. That's actually freaking awesome. I'll laugh if the whole world instantly becomes loving, sees the divinity in the other side, and chooses to create from that perspective. I'll laugh. Oh, I'll laugh so much, Candice. This is the message to all of us, not to melt. Do you also become a better reader as you watch Melt take the time to really try to understand what someone is saying? I try to, I genuinely try to, especially when it's coming from a place of, contention or resistance to what it is we're sharing, or in opposition. Then I especially will spend some time to try and listen. Thank you so much, Shell, for listening with me, friend. Can tell you how much fun I had last night. Your son is an angel. Oh goodness, that makes me happy. Oh, Favors Jester, love to you and hello. Dude made me feel things without my consent. There you go, friend. I cannot make you feel anything without your consent. You're feeling. You're the one eliciting these responses. I'm just technically projecting into the universe. And you are the thing that is eliciting the response from the projection, as this is technically a projection of you as well, and you're eliciting a response from that. But I say it expecting, then I won't. Yep. Expectation is the killer. Like, expectation is the thing that steals our freedom as well in that way. Candace can explain the feeling, but it's intentionally expected. It's tricky. It's manifestation, my friend. It's the true understanding of manifestation. Gratitude is very important for mental health. Not enough will lead to one Not enough will lead one to be entitled. Too much will leave someone disillusioned. Exactly, friend. The middle way. That's why the middle way makes sense to me as well. Thank you, awesome. Reminds me of something I read, The Magic by Rhonda Byron. I don't think I've read that, unfortunately. His conversations are so thought provoking, and we're consenting by being here. Exactly. If you feel like you don't want to be feeling the things I'm putting out into the world, like it's just a scroll away, Fred. All of the internet is still right here in your hand. Can't underestimate the neurochemistry. I never do, friend. I'm fascinated by neurochemistry, in fact. So you want us to get high on gratefulness? Absolutely, I do, Servinia. That is the one thing, the only thing that I want you to get high on. is awareness. And as a result of awareness, gratitude. And that's the only drugs that I'd recommend. So the lesson here seems that doing 6 grams of monkeys leads you to sharing experiences and telepathy. And that's how much I did, maybe more when I had my experience. That makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. I think so as well. I feel in that state of mind, you have such a capacity to experience information that by trying to experience a specific information, dreaming a dream together, it becomes your reality. You get an A plus. Yes, you do, Servinia. You understand exactly. Jon Snow is spot on. He did say winter is coming. Winter is coming, friend. Winter literally is coming. Geez, all this time we could be Professor Xing up, but never made the connections. Better start finding some mutants. Probably won't have to look far. We are the mutants. We are the mutants already. Freaking Eden. Man, I love you so much. For the southern hemisphere, is which Melty is in, winter is coming as the northern hemisphere leaves it and enters spring. The southern leaves summer and enters autumn and fall. Thank you for sharing that so much, Sarvinia. Beautifully said. Been suffering in the root chakra for a few weeks now. I feel that my body has been giving myself that needed time to feel in that space. I completely agree, Brother Bear. You had to be rooted, you had to be secure, you had to feel like you're safe, you had to be planted in a certain mindset and a certain doing and a certain pattern that you were in. And the fact that you were feeling into that, Brother Bear, that's what makes me happy, man. Like it makes me so happy. Nothing like spiritual talk and dog wrestling. I put money on the naked pup. She definitely is the bigger one. They're playing so beautifully. I'm happy that they're on the grass as well because usually Eva is a little bit of a menace. She's just like rolling Pippi in the ground, like dragging her through the dirt and stuff. Yeah, that looks like ear mites. I checked those, that I can't see anything, unfortunately. Zen, an art of being one with dude, bro. Exactly that. Maybe it's neurological issue. Does she have any bites or anything? No, no, she doesn't have it. And like right now, she's doing okay. It doesn't happen constantly, but I've seen it happen to her over and over again. And I don't know how to help. I usually just give her like, gentle head pats when I see it happening to her. This is how my headcanon Professor X is just living in an old folks' home and constantly on an insane amount of mushrooms, and all his friends are mutants in his minds because of it. I love that so much. Oh goodness, Isaac, that sounds like a hilarious spin-off of, of the X-Men. Oh goodness. Oh, that's hilarious. I love that. Thank you for sharing it. The war has been really sucking my spirit into the priority of the physical. The spirit is feeling, and your measurable amounts of pain and suffering and death, and what is happening in the world right now, and it's making it difficult to be aligned completely. Again, Brother Bay, like you're not supposed to be. Whatever we think we're supposed to be, whatever alignment we think we're supposed to be in, us feeling is that alignment. You feeling things means that you are in alignment, and the fact that you had to be in alignment with your root chakra, being secure, being safe, being stable, being planted for now, that is what you had to do. That's why you did it. Gosh, these dogs are so passionate. They are. Ah, Eva, my lieve Eva, kom eens zo mais. Kom eens zo meisje. Zo meisje kunt. Zo mais. Zo. Zo liefie daar. Zo liefie. Zo. And Pippi just goes zoom zoom zoom. Zoom 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 zoom. Zoom 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 zoom. Zoom zoom zoom. Man, I love these beings so much. Such a blessing having them in my life. Sweet little things. Is the conflict in Ukraine? Is it the conflict in Ukraine? Absolutely. It is. Toast has been very invested. I have no idea what the hell this guy is talking about, but he says it with so much conviction he can make anyone drink the Kool-Aid. Friend, if I'm serving you any Kool-Aid, it's realizing that you are everything. That's all I want you to realize. you know. And if you go away from here realizing that you're everything, and being everything, you take full responsibility for your life, the way you treat others, the way you treat your pets, the way you eat, the way you treat your body. Then my job is done. My job is done. Then you've gotten it. You are everything, friend. I don't need you to do anything else. I don't expect you to do anything. That is, I want you to realize that you're a divine being. That is my mission. Love is true. Realizing that that love within inside of you is the only truth that there's ever been. All the rest of it was just illusion. Mm, mm, mm. Massive hysterical laughter. Dude, that makes me so happy to hear. I'm really glad you're still here. Same, actually, on B. Like, I feel like I'm breaking through to him bit by bit. My message was late. I see that it is. That is, you are cool. No, you, friend. I also asked to him, love is true and everything. Yeah, love is true, dude. My younger lover is coming. Have to got to go. Have a good one, Alexandre. I'm happy to hear it. You have, a lover, my friend. Have a good one, brother Bay. So much love your way. I feel this. He lost me at, I think, in infinity. So does Buzz Lightyear, bro. Yeah, and Buzz Lightyear is a big inspiration in my life, friend. To infinity and beyond, and so on. Why should that be something I'm ashamed of? Am I supposed to be ashamed of it? Oh no. Oh no, infinity and beyond. Oh, I guess I'm just a 5-year-old watching Toy Story now. Dude. Dude, relax. Relax yourself. Mm. Thank you for sharing your good vibes with me as well, Kyle. You are so cool. Love being shared. Excited to see you on Tuesday, bro. Wait a second. Ooh, are you seeing each other on Tuesday? That's freaking awesome. People have been sending me videos of shit blowing up, saying how cool it looks, and I'm just so sad to think about people's impacted and the suffering with each act, and how isolated I am for the person that sent it to me. Like to like, and it's difficult as well when that happens, because we have this understanding that love is true, of course, but the bay, and then someone shares this, fascination, almost encouragement of, these horrible, things happening in our world right now as well, and you're like, oh, how are you, how are we this different? Love you, Jem. You're a blessing. So are you, Toast. What is he talking about? Keep listening, friend. I'm so lost. And realize, every single time you're lost, you're going to find yourself right here, in this moment, in this breath, in this heartbeat. No matter how lost you get, friend, you're going to be right here. Loved. Infinitely loved. Jem is going to do a live talk AMA pretty soonish. I have a podcast again tonight, unfortunately. Saturdays are my podcast nights. We have a guest, actually, a friend, Armand from New Zealand is being our guest. Special Kitty has zoomies right now. She's also excited. Look at these, silly girls being excited as well in the same way, Toast. If we use technology to alter our biology in order to communicate with our brains, that would be telepathy. But if the communication is going through technology, it's cybernetic communication. It's correct definitions, not magic. I hear you, Savinia. I'm not trying to make any truth statements. I'm just sharing perspective. I'm not trying to argue with you. I've been doing 200 push-ups through the whole day, and it's been so nice. Awesome, Isaac. It makes me so happy to hear that. I've never had the will to continue on with something like that, but feeling like I can move my body around effectively, especially because I love climbing things. It is nice. Dude, it makes me so happy to hear that. Pippi has zooms. Genuinely just being stronger for ourselves. If you allow yourself to become stronger, everything becomes easier. Literally, all of the life experience, all of the rest of the stuff that you're doing is just going to be a little bit easier. Keep going. Keep going. Like, spreading it out throughout the day makes it nice and easy as well, because you don't have to tax yourself so much right off the bat. But intentionally and following through. So much love. I'm so proud of you. Same, really. So much love to you, friends. My wife and I get the blessings of meeting Ryan and having lunch with him on Tuesday. Much excited. Like, I'm excited just thinking about it. I meditate nightly and breathe for all of my friends, breathing and good for them, and I fall asleep filled with love for you all. Jem, and we've been feeling it, friend. You've been manifesting goodness into this world, and we appreciate you so much for that. Amazing. Awesome, dude. I hope it's a fantastic meal with such incredible company. How could it not be? I couldn't agree more. I wish Reddit on PC showing the custom snooze. Toasty and Jem have similar snoovatars. Snoovatars. And I just double take thinking Jem said my wife and I, and I was like, what? Wait a second, what? I love that so much and fully believe in holding space for others. Thank you so much. Me too, Aunt B, genuinely. I want to manifest lower gas prices. Friend, I feel higher gas prices have been manifested as a collective intention for us to switch over to renewables in a lot of ways as well. So instead of complaining about the high gas prices, we're manifesting an EV sustainable electric future. It's coming, friend. No more fuels. Congratulations, Candace. Thank you for sharing the love toast. Accepting volunteers. I'd get on that. Manifest cheaper gas prices, please. You have to do the same. Meet Mr. Mayhem. We have to switch over. Black Doggo. Her name is Eva. She's a little hairless pup. She's a character as well. People say peanut butter shroom sandwiches give you stomach cramps. I've never tried it, friend, so I cannot say with any certainty. I'm happy. I don't think I ever will. Hey, Melt! How did the 7.77G go? It went. Whiskey Black. Oh, it went, friend. Like I don't think I'm comfortable with being that aware anytime soon again. I'll maybe do it in like a decade or something again, but for now, I feel like I've gained the awareness that I was supposed to. I shared a bunch on stream about that. Thank you for asking, friends. As a result, then awesome. And even if it doesn't, that always reminds me of how many people love me, and that's beyond amazing. Oh, goodness. Just being reminded that people love you, being reminded that you love other people, being reminded of the fact that we have this capacity to feel that. Thank you for doing that, Jem. Genuinely. I like Uranus. That's a cool planet. It's a cool planet. Melt trying to manifest a new Hayward. Yeah, I am actually. This we're gonna convert him. Mr. Mayhem is gonna get converted. I mean, he did call himself Mr. Mayhem and meet Mr. Mayhem, so I'm not surprised, that we're getting some mayhem in chat. It's perfectly perfect. I feel more like my old self daily, thanks to the space and the beautiful people who share it with me. It's the absolute bare minimum I can try and give some of that back, and we appreciate you for trying. You are, you don't have to try even. You literally are already doing it. It's going to be nice to meet our brother, March 22. Tuesday, 22nd of March. Hey, look who it is. Kira Burb. So much love. He's so behind. I am toast. It's killing me a little bit, dude. Slight, slight murder. I really enjoyed seeing you and your kiddos yesterday. So much love to you, friends. It was a dream come true to see my kids interacting with your son and a bit on the Bubby is a Minecraft master. Literally, growing up in a world where that is a skill set that you need as a young being. It's like, yes, I know how to craft things and mine things. As like a kid, like it's amazing. What is that going to do? I feel like just that willingness to explore, that willingness to continue finding new things, that willingness to realize resources, and with those resources be able to build different things, even if we're never going to be building blocks in our external world. That is problem solving. That is literally neuronal pathways getting activated for him to be able to do more. Last night was incredible. I love you all so much, as we love you, Kira Burr. Thank you for being here with us right now as well. Thank you for bringing us together. So cool, so grateful. What? I'm not verbally rolling my eyes. I never said that. Are your comments broken? So amazing to see Pippi and Eva playing. They're at it again. Silly girls. It makes me so happy as well, Toast. Like they weren't playing for a while, and I was hoping that they would start, and then they are. Oh goodness, the sun is blasting my eyeballs. Please, Mr. Sun, please. It's amazing. I think they know they're being watched. Maybe they're just tired. Pippi seems to be tired. Uh-oh, so Guitar Hero with Synthwave. Exactly that. I see four doggos with picture in picture. Literally two screens open, four doggos at the same time. Get all of that serotonin at the same time. The path of least resistance is paved with good intentions. Hmm. I actually like that saying. I don't think it's wrong. And I don't think it's bad either. I like that. Yeah, me too, actually, Aunt B. I thought that was me being lazy. I feel you. This space provides so much reflection, love, and light. It feels like my duty is to spread that to energy to every being possible. This is why the space is changing the world. I agree completely with that, Isaac. And the fact that you're doing that and living into that reality, I am trying. I am actively, literally, daily trying to change the world. But I cannot change the world alone. Every single one of us has to want that. Every single one of us has to want the world to change and be willing to change it inside of ourselves to realize that change as well. And having seen you friends, change, and change is something that we assign to so much, like negativity, like, oh, if I'm changing, it must mean that I was doing something wrong or I was something wrong before I changed. No, you were, as you've always been, and you can continue being into infinity in the same way. We're not doing things wrong. We just want to do things better. And as long as that's our intention, things will get better, friends. Tried some writing exercises to help. It will, absolutely. Visualizing as well. I feel Toast probably does. If he knows about just the energy and the understanding of it, he probably went through some of the practices. That's perfect. Call it within that call is within all of us. It just gets quiet. It isn't being loved, shared. And that's why it's always having a loving intention is so important. We save lives that way. Choosing, feeling into that love is true, Isaac, and then going into the world with that truth in our hearts, teaching that truth, living into that truth. Seeing you do the same makes me so happy, brother. I'm finally warm at home, cold outside, and relaxing, snow outside, and relaxing under a heated blanket till my next load of laundry is ready to fold while watching. I hope you are all having an amazing morning. Peppermint Mononoke, so much love to you, friend. Thank you for joining us, for sharing this space with us. Wow, I can't imagine being so disconnected from empathy that they think it's cool. So glad there's a balance of people like yourself to empower the lack of love in the world. It's both sides of the infinity. Instead of being devastated by it, to be informed by it, to be like, oh, this is a potential reality. I know about this. Let me live into the opposite of it. I feel like every single time I point the camera at them, they stop playing. Do they know they're being watched? Can they feel it? Your friends are being too loving. They can feel all of that loving energy, and they're like, okay, we just have to self groom a little bit or something. I think I'm gonna take it away. I'm gonna start playing again or something. I enjoy time with my wife more and more now. You never know when your time may come. Goodness toast, that makes me so happy, friend. You deserve that, friend. Genuinely, perspective being so much brings so much gratitude. Oh, perspective. Oh, Vikia, I wish I understood what you said, my friend, but know that we love you, Mr. Triple Seven. Hmm. Then, what matters most in the world, that's what matters most in the world, friend. You are loved, and you are love. Things will work out. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that understanding as well, Eden. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Peach. Seems you need more compassionate people around you. It's one thing to share and discuss such things with receptive people, and it's another entirely to be in awe of such destruction of people's lives. Oh, I mean, like we meet a lot of people in our lives, Sarvinia, and people share things of us, on our cell phones because they have these access to us. And people share things for different reasons. Like they might think that they and they I do believe, love is true for them as well. and they're sharing something that might be devastating from a place of love, because they might think that it might be fascinating to you and they love you enough to want to fascinate you. It's just, it might be a little bit misaligned. And again, feeling into that alignment can cause a negative experience, but realizing that you have the ability to feel, that is where the value is. Okay, okay, okay. Then forget thick, fuzzy socks. Man, I'm looking forward to winter again. You're making it, you're selling winter to me. So good, thank you. I'm beaming today because we found out my brother and SIL are having a second child, sister-in-law. Having a second child, our fruit cup will have two cousins. And I mean, it will kind of be close to the same age as well, so that way she won't feel too disconnected from that cousin. It makes me so happy to hear that, my friend. Best part. Toast to the most. Cheers, matey. Thank you, friend, for joining us. Cheers to you as well. It's nice that you stayed for as long as you did. Cousins, how much trouble will they get into? So much fun to have. It translates from Russian to, how are you for life, friend? I feel life is, how am I for life? Mm. I feel I would answer that question by saying, I am loving for life. How about you, friend? Beautiful question. This says, hi, friend. Thank you, Uncle Becky, for sharing as well. Melt, I'm on spring break this week. We should have a call. I'm down. I'm down, Toast. Hit me up, dude. Send me your schedule. Then we can make a plan. I had cousins growing up, so I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her as well. Hi, brother. It's nice to have you here, Uncle Becky. Sending you so much love, brother Bay. How are you doing? How's your back? How's your back? I hope you're doing yoga, dude. Like, the yoga has helped my back so much. I hope that you're trying it as well. And your back is getting better and better. He's sleeping in a little this morning. First day off in a month. He stirred. He stirred when the coffee. But that was me on the PC. Thank you so much for the love, Aunt B. I hope his back is getting better. Man, I wish I could help. Eva is such a sweet big sister. Papa's getting big. She is. Like today, giving her pets. Mr. Smitty's. Justin. Justin. Justin, I've been thinking about you so much. I think I was talking about you just yesterday when I was talking about, people that I see as role models for parents. It's so nice to have you here again. Eva is a good sister. Again, Pippi, as I was trying to share, I like when I was giving her pets today, I felt her skin was harder. Like she's no longer, baby skinned, if you will. She's getting a little bit more rough now. Growing up, are you? She was much becoming a big girl. Becoming a big girl, bigger, but I love you for asking and being here. Thank you so much for telling us, Kira Burp. How's your foot doing? Is it getting better? Will get smaller and fewer between. You just gotta keep swimming. Just keep swimming. It's Charles? You're right. You're completely right. It's not Justin. Ah, I'm so sorry, Charles. It's been a while, my friend. That fractal has been been reutilized, it seems. Melty is catching up. Chat. We must increase the chat. Servinia, I have to go and do a podcast very soon. So I actually cannot, stay indefinitely, even though I would love to. Hoping the same for you. Grab 100 life vests. I will write that down and sign it into your name. Put it on my Zen wall and try hard to remember. Light a candle for me, while you're doing that as well, Kira Bird, please. Some separate the knowledge of reality from those explorations and videos. Being desensitized throughout life doesn't necessarily mean they can't retune mindfully. I agree with that as well, Princess Mononoke. Like they're being insensitive because they're sensitive. Think, if someone is insensitive, it's because they're sensitive. And it sounds like a paradox, but it's a part of themselves that, is so scared of being hurt, so scared of not being themselves, that they instead, create this experience of insensitivity, of disconnection, separation, instead of living into being part of that, unity. Okay, Burp, Charles. It's so loving having you here, friend. Holding on to you for dear life. Charles, it's been a while. Hoping you're well. I swim like a brick, so don't hold on to me. Puppy, what am I doing? There we go. I just hit a sweet spot. Man, like, what do you think about those sounds? Because these days, I almost cannot control myself. I don't know if that's a weird thing to say, but I'll be, in a mindset like the day after the yoga session, for example. As soon as I finished the yoga session and I turned the camera off, I just broke into a tone, and then I was like, "Oh, interesting. I wonder what that tone is." And I have this graph generator that like uses the microphones on my phone, and then it tells me at what frequency the tones I'm making is at, and it was like at 300, 636, I think, respectively, like a double tone. And I was like, "Oh, okay, interesting." And it was like the perfect 300, and I was like, oh, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it is fun to make these sounds. It's confusing the heck out of the dogs. Yeah, it makes me happy to do that sometimes. How about this quote? I think I missed that one for some reason. I'm not quite sure about it. I'm not what you think I am. I am not what I think I am. I am what you think I am. Yes, because you are the same thinking that I am thinking you are. Mind melts. Drive carefully. That's confusing the heck out of the dogs. Most definitely, thank you. He did it. Love, 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 love you all so much. Love you, Eden. Send love to Ninja Nanner for me as well. Keep looking at my screen like, what the fuck is that? The tones, and they technically can hear those tones as well, and they communicate. They like howl in tones as well. So I believe it's of something that's closer to their understanding than normal words would be. I love you so much, Sister Estian. I love you dearly. Thank you for the space. Thank you for joining us in this space, my beloved sister. So much love to you. Oh, to be laying in the grass, watching those pups, putting myself mentally in the sunny space, in an icy waste. That's the side of the day here, projecting our consciousness into the infinity. Thank you, Wise, for joining me in this space nonetheless. Charles, it has been a while, but I love that whenever I return, it's like I've never left. I'm so happy that you feel that as well, Charles. That is genuinely what we try to do here. When I'm driving my forklift at work, I make some weird ass sounds, and I wonder if I'm all right sometimes. I believe we are all right, Jackson. I believe it is something within us that wants to be outside of us. Like putting these tones, these frequencies into the universe is doing something. I'm trying to figure out what it is it's doing, but we're doing it for a reason. So like, keep doing it, friend. You're not weird. So much love to all of you today. I can't say enough the worth you all hold and the wisdom and light that resides in all of you. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for being an inspiration, Isaac. Both sides of the infinity, brother Bear. If I'm alone, I have full conversations with the dogs and make the weirdest noises. Me too. I don't know. I think I've like weird conversations with Pippi, but I'll like say things just like, huh? Can you believe this? Can you believe it? Can you? Can you believe it? And she believes it every time. And I'm like, what? How? How do you? No, read it again. Did I read it wrong? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me read it again. Get back. I wish you would tag it. I am not what you think I am. I am not what I think I am. I am what I think you think I am. Ah, I did read it wrong. You are right. Hmm. Jackson. Absolutely, friend. I mean, it's just that a wording, a way of like putting these words to try and make you think of that infinite loop of, this experience we're having back and forth right now. I can't find my place. Uh, uh, okay, here it is. I prefer the lines from the old intro for a wrestler. Don't treat me like a woman. Don't treat me like a man. Don't treat me like you know me. Just treat me for who I am. I like that one as well, actually, Slovenia. The I that I always am. I love playing dog howling and barking videos and watching my dogs with their head tilt. hell is that, pops? What is that, dad? Thank you for inspiring me. I thought of your bright smile today. Thank you for sharing that love on me. I'm what I think you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. I am what you think. I am what I think you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. But I'm not, actually, Jackson. I feel the way I said it first made more sense to me than this one does. Because yes, I am what you think. I am what I think you think I am, but I am not necessarily thinking about who you think I am, because I am who I am without having to think who you think I am. My brain is like, please, dude, please, please stop doing that. Okay, I swear you know what I'm saying. I'm sure we do, Jen. All we see is love, my friend. I can see that in a lot of people. They do to some degree. Sounds very Dr. Seuss. Yes, it does. Great Peter Toshang. I am that I am. There we go. That one I do agree with. You are that I am. I am that I am. All I am is the I that we are. Consciousness, awareness, I, peering into your reality. And you can think of all of your senses as being different eyes. Oh, I'm seeing sound with my ears. I am seeing taste with my tongue. I am seeing smells with my nose. I am seeing texture with my skin. I am seeing things with my eyes. All of it is this way of eliciting a response, consuming what's external and making it a part, melting it together into the consolidated experience that is you. And you are the thing that's aware of the experience. Infinity. Back and forth, back and forth. My brain is broken. Might as well, Jackson. Go with your melty brains and go and, drip some of that goodness on whoever might come around your path. No, you said it resonates with me deeply. I feel it as well. I feel it as well. Take good care of yourselves and have the best day possible. Thank you so much, friend. Maybe the point is to not be who you think other people think you are. I feel that way as well. That's at least the point that I'm taking away from it. Woo! Thank you, friends, for joining me, for sharing this space with me, for feeling with me instead of trying to feel something specifically with me, right? We're not here to feel something specifically. We're just here to feel. And you friends have felt. Thank you for feeling with me. I love and appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. The thing I took from it, I worry too much about what people think of me to severely detrimental point. And I've seen it happen as well, Kira Burb. But I've also seen you grow. I've also seen you, experience more and more abundance, experience more and more, opportunity to choose love. And I feel like you're in this moment in life where life is like really trying to teach you the same lesson over and over again. And the longer we take to absorb and really take the lesson to heart, the louder life becomes. And life has been loud with you, friend. Life has been very loud with you. Know that I know that you know. That I know that you know. I love you so much. We're gonna get through this, friends. We just have to keep showing up. We have to keep swimming in this infinite ocean. And the fact that we are now, with one another, swimming in this infinite ocean, we have the means to throw each other some lifeboats when we've constructed ourselves a little structure that we can float on, instead of just letting each other drown, trying to pedal, trying to get like a single piece of wood for ourselves and cling on to that. We can bring our pieces of wood together, construct ourselves a little raft so we don't have to be so alone. Thank you, friend, for choosing not to be alone, for choosing to be here. I love and appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, my friends.